This was an extraordinary move. The activation of National Guard over the objections of the state governor, and then the deployment of several hundred Marines. So it struck me, as somebody who's been covering the military now for 35 years, as something to really take note of and watch carefully. One of the main questions is it legal? The state of California has already now gone to court and sued the federal government, basically saying this is an illegal deployment, that the state and city authorities have the ability to deal with this unrest right now, and they don't need the American military. There's a 1878 law called the Posse Comitatus Act that basically prevents, almost in all cases, U.S. military forces from engaging in domestic law enforcement. But that can be put aside if the president invokes another early 1800s law called the Insurrection Act. That act was basically devised to help repel foreign invaders. The president so far has not invoked the Insurrection Act. The Pentagon has basically used a rationale using something called Title 10. And this is a little used provision of Title 10 to allow National Guard and these Marines to provide support on the ground without actually conducting any kind of policing action. And of course, the big question still remaining is, will he cross the line and invoke the Insurrection Act and give the military law enforcement powers on the ground itself? The last time the Insurrection Act was invoked was in 1992 by President George H.W. Bush after the riots in Los Angeles there, basically in response to requests from the then governor of California and the mayor of Los Angeles, and much more violent, widespread damage and loss of life than at least what we've seen in these last couple of days in Los Angeles. But the president has made it clear that if unrest spreads to other cities, he could have some kind of military deployments elsewhere.
You know, if we didn't attack this one very strongly, you'd have them all over the country. But I can inform the rest of the country that when they do it, if they do it, they're going to be met with equal or greater force.
So there's a lot of concern about where does this lead? Is Los Angeles a test case for something the president really has been wanting to do since his first administration, and that is use the military in a much more aggressive and wide-focused way on dealing with both civilian protests on the ground, but also when it comes in conjunction with his immigration efforts, be they inside of the cities or down on the southern border.